Hey everybody, I'm Tim Ward and welcome back to Garden Sense. Well folks, it is November 1st and that means that this is going to be our last podcast for the season. Now don't worry, we're not going anywhere. We're still going to be taking all your questions that you email us over the winter and obviously sending product out from Rosen's Online anytime you folks place an order. But the video podcasts are going to stop until we hit the spring next year. So even though we know this is the last podcast, there's still some questions that we want to get to, and we picked out 4 for this week's video, so buckle up everybody, let's jump right in. Question number 1 is from Kathy. Tim, I live in Northern Virginia area and planted new grass 10 days ago. I have just started to see some growth and have been watering the grass lightly every day. I just remembered that we forgot to apply Kickstart 2 or 3 days after planting. Is it too late to apply Kickstart now? Hey Kathy, well absolutely not. You can still put down Kickstart, and in fact, you can put Kickstart down on your grass, on your trees, on your shrubs, on your flowers at any point during the season as long as they're actively growing. Again, it's designed to help strengthen the root system. So whether you're dealing with seedlings or a full mature lawn, Kickstart is gonna help. So pick up a couple of bottles over at rosensonline.com right now and get it down on your lawn as quick as you can. Question number 2 is from Lou. Hello Tim, when is the best time to put down the last application of Turf Trust? Southwest Pennsylvania, Zone 7A. So the reason that we provide a window of October 31st to Thanksgiving as kind of a general window for when to apply your 4th feeding of Turf Trust is really because it just depends on your grass and it depends on the weather that you're experiencing. Now, ideally, what you want to do is make sure that you get Turf Trust down once your lawn starts to really slow down and has gone dormant or is beginning to go dormant. And you want to make sure that you get it down before that ground freezes. So whatever that time frame is best for you in the area that you live, that's when you're going to want to put it down. Now, based on what you told me, I'm guessing it's going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's really when you're probably going to want to get it put down. But again, you know, we have this out there, this window. We have customers down in the Carolinas and, you know, they may be fertilizing their grass up into December. It really just depends on the weather and again, when their lawn goes dormant. So head over to Rosen's Online if you haven't done so and pick up the Turf Trust fertilizer that you need. But ideally, it's gonna be going down in the next 2 or 3 weeks based on the general area that you live. The third question is from Pat. Hello. I would like to know when it is safe to trim my Japanese maple tree. The tree is full of leaves. They are mixed green and red with a little bit of brown on the leaves. Is it safe to trim it now? If not, when is it best to trim this tree? So ideally, if you're going to prune back a Japanese maple, you want to do it when the tree is completely dormant. So you don't want to do it right now. Now, the ideal range for dormancy in trees, or I should say the typical range for dormancy within trees, is from the first significant frost that you experience up through late winter. So any time in that range is going to be okay. So if it were me, I would look probably towards the end of November into December before I would feel that it's safe enough. But again, you can do this all the way, you know, through the end of January and be totally safe in terms of not damaging your tree. The 4th and final question of the season is from Mary Lee. Tim, we got a late start this fall and had our lawn aerated and seeded the first week in October, along with an application of starter fertilizer. The lawn seems to be filling in. However, we have a lot of broadleaf weeds in our front, very sunny lawn. Is it too late to put down gallery now? Also, I don't want to kill any grass seed that may not have sprouted yet. So I can't definitively tell you whether or not you can put gallery down because I can't see what that new grass looks like. What I can tell you is that you cannot put down gallery until that new grass has reached the 3-leaf stage of its life cycle. So I would inspect your lawn, and if that new grass coming up hasn't reached the 3-leaf stage, then do not put it down. If it has, or the vast majority of that new grass has reached that stage, then you can safely put gallery down. Just remember that once you put gallery down, any of the new grass or seed that has not reached that 3-leaf stage is most likely going to die. So again, if it were me and the weather conditions were right, I would probably wait a little bit because I'm guessing that your grass hasn't quite reached that stage yet. But again, I'm not there, I can't see, so this is just an educated guess on my part. But if you haven't picked up your bag of gallery, remember, you can pick it up over at rosesonline.com. All right, folks, just a couple final thoughts here for this final video podcast of 2023. As I said at the top of the program, we're not going anywhere, but it being November 1st, it's time to shut down the video podcast so we can really take a step back from producing the content that you help us create to really focusing on the business and what we want to accomplish for 2024. Now, we are constantly looking for ways to improve this show, ways to improve our website over at rosesonline.com, whether it be through easier navigation, better product selection. Obviously, pricing is always a concern for customers, but we want to hear your feedback. So if you've got some suggestions about the show, you've got some suggestions about the website, or you just have some general questions about how to tackle your lawns, your gardens, perhaps even your indoor plants now that we're getting into winter, please send an email to tim@rosesonline.com. Folks, thank you so much for spending your time with us this 2023 season. We feel incredibly blessed by the amount of feedback that we get from you each and every week. We feel incredibly blessed based on the amount of orders that go through rosesonline.com on a weekly basis. We couldn't be happier with how this season panned out, and frankly, that's because of you. So folks, for the last time, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. God bless.